a lot of people have been asking me questions about this welding shield, what brand it is, what lens do I run in it, how did I modify the flip front to do that, why do I have a headlamp on it, all kinds of stuff. I'm going to go through the whole helmet. I've already talked about why I run this. If you haven't seen my other videos, I have like 3 or 4 videos on welding shields, and this helmet's in 2 of them, talking about why I used it. The main reason is the weight savings and the flip front. But yeah, it's a really good, dependable, cheap shield with low weight and a flip front, so you can't really go wrong with that. I still haven't found anything better on the market than this for the kind of work I do. There's really no one place to buy them, and there's no brand name. Just type in flip front welding shield or welding helmet or welding hood, and just scroll through till you find something that's black and has a flip front. That's it. So I buy them from a tool supplier here in Canada. I buy them for about $20 Canadian each. They're usually run between $20 Canadian to $30 Canadian. So yeah, really cheap helmet, but it's really good also. So the first thing I did to this one is put some new headgear in it. So this particular one I have comes with Miller headgear holes. What I'm talking about is to mount your ratcheting headgear in your welding helmet, there's holes in the side of it. Different manufacturers have different holes, different styles, different sizes. Some of them are circles, some of them are square. This one had the holes for Miller headgear, and it came with some knockoff Miller headgear. I stripped out in the back, so I had some OEM Miller headgear from another helmet sitting around, so I threw that in here. So now it has genuine Miller headgear inside of it. I have this one here. That was the one question asked. It's how I got a hard hat adapter on this one. This one has different headgear holes than this one. This one has the fiber metal holes, so I can put a fiber metal hard hat adapter on it. So you could buy different manufacturers will put different holes in them. Other than that, the shields are basically identical to that one, other than the headgear holes. So this one had Miller headgear holes, so that's what I'm running in it. Otherwise, you don't really know what you're going to get until you get it in the mail too, because none of the sellers specifically tell you what headgear holes it comes with. We got the headlamp. This is a mod that I think every welder should do to their helmet. I don't care if you just spent $3,000 on your 3M helmet, you should put a headlamp on it. Maybe you don't want to drill into it and rivet like I did for this one. This is riveted to the shield, but get some adhesive or something, put a headlamp on your helmet. Only time a headlamp won't help you is if you're running a non-flip front passive lens, so you don't have an auto darkening lens, because once you flip the hood down, you can't see anything through the lens unless you're welding, so a headlamp's not going to help you. Otherwise, if you're running a flip front helmet or an auto darkening lens, which I have both in this helmet, you need a headlamp. There's going to be times where it's dark or it's low light areas. Even if you're working in a shop, you got to crawl underneath something or inside something, and just having that headlamp there is super nice. So an auto darkening lens works fine, but when there's no light, you're in the dark, you're still not going to be able to see anything, even though you have an auto lens. So with the headlamp, you just click of a button, and now if you're grinding with a flip front, you can see everything. You can see where you're going to strike your arc before you flip down. And if you're just running the auto darkening, you can see everything as if you were in daylight. So it's a super good mod, really cheap. Pick up a headlamp for 20 bucks, rip the strap off and rivet it or whatever, connect it to your hood. I got some stickers on this one. I put stickers on every helmet I have. And then my lens. So I reached out to a company called Tefue. They sell lenses on their website as well as Amazon. I believe they sell them in Amazon USA and Amazon Canada. So I reached out to them and they sent me some lenses out. So I'm currently running the 10.5 gold lens they have, so it's a 10.5 shade. I didn't pay for the lens, they sent me some for free, and I've just been trying it out, but so far, this Tefue has been working really good, and the bonus thing is that you can order it on Amazon. That to me is a big, distribution is really important with anything now that you're gonna sell online, so if you can sell it through Amazon and it comes in like 2-day shipping, I would definitely, that's really convenient. But the performance of the lens is really good. I prefer auto lenses over passive lenses. And I've used Arc 1 and I've tried a couple others on other people's helmets, but I've only ever owned an Arc 1 Tradesman. So I haven't had too much experience with these 2x4 lenses that are auto darkening. But so far this Tefue is holding up and it's working pretty good and it's nice and clear. Now that I've gone through everything done to it, I'm gonna show you how to modify the flip front. I guess I didn't really talk about that. The flip front is modified so that you can flip it down without flipping the whole shield down. So a lot of the time, if you're welding, if you have a non-flip front hood or even flip front, you still do this. You go to weld, if you don't have an auto darkening lens, you're flipping down, which is, you know, it's not great for your neck. I actually know guys that have had muscle issues in their neck because of that, doing that for 30 years. So that's not great for your neck. So that's why an auto darkening lens is kind of better. Or me, I got in the habit of flicking my shield down with my hand. I tried to, if I could, if I had one of my hands free, I'd try to use my hand at whenever I could because it's hard on your neck. Other than using your hand or your neck and flipping the whole thing down, I started seeing guys on jobs wearing this helmet and being able to do this. They could flip just the lens down. When we're in really tight spots that were super hard to get into, you don't have room to have your shield even up like this. You've got your face shoved in somewhere with your shield down. If you have it a flip front, now you can see what you're doing. And especially with that headlamp, usually if you're in a tight spot, it's going to be dark. So now you have that headlamp so that you can see what you're doing, but you also have the clearance to flip your just your lens down. So you can see what you're doing, grind with your flip front up or get into the spot. And then when you're ready to weld, you can have both hands. Usually you're TIG welding really tight spots. So you can have both hands free to set up to start welding, have your shield down, and just like that, you're flipped down and ready to weld. Everything's set up perfectly. Otherwise, you'd be going in there trying to get ready and then putting your shield on like so, and then burying your head into where you gotta go and striking the arc and just hoping that you're in the right spot. Modifying the flip front is super awesome. I don't think you can modify the flip front on any other helmet. I'm pretty sure this style shield is the only one that you can modify the helmet to do that. So I'll show you how I did it, and it's really not that hard. What holds this thing together, the flip front on there, is there's two pins. So there's a pin here and here. All you gotta do is pop these pins out. Just a pair of needle noses, just press on the pin. Okay, so I pressed on that pin. Now there's a little gap there. So you see I fit my pick tool. As you can see, it just kind of popped out a bit. That's because there's a spring. Pull that out. Have a parts tray by, because like these things are small. So now you got to pay attention to the order of how things come out. So pop the flip front off. Here's the flip front. There's this little plastic plunger on a spring, and then you can see that one's kind of collapsed. And basically these are what make the flip front function. Okay, so now that I got it pulled out, you can see here, this one, just a little plastic piece. There's just this little spring, and that's all it is. So this one is the one that I modified. Those are the two, tension springs. All I did was take a pair of pliers and cut one of the springs in half and then reassemble the flip front. Take half of one of the springs. That's also important. If you get greedy and start cutting the springs really short, the flip front's not going to stay up. So you want to be careful with that. So just half. There we go. I think I got it. Yeah, there we go. That one's kind of a pain. Slide those pins back in. But yeah, there we go. Now you got a flip down, flip front. There it is. That's how I set up my shield. Again, I really like these helmets. You can buy them from multiple different places. There's more than one manufacturer, and they're very modifiable. I mean, like I said, pretty sure it's the only shield on the market that you can modify the flip front like that. And the whole thing, if I were to buy everything, it would probably be around $150 Canadian. So that's really good price, especially when just the shell of another helmet, like the fiber metal pipeliners or Tiger hoods, they're all around $100 now. So just to get the shell, you're looking at $100, and I hate the headgear that comes in most helmets. So you're already going to have to possibly swap out the headgear. Then you got to put a lens in it if you want an auto lens. You know, you're racking up to over $200 really quick. So this is just, you know, really low cost for the base, just the shell of the helmet with the flip front. And then you can just start modifying it from there. These are also so cheap that you can cut them up and modify them all you want. Yeah, these are super modifiable, super affordable, super light, and super good performance-wise. So I'll try to put links for everything where you can buy it in the description. And I don't care if you have a helmet that you're dead set on. For $30 max, go and pick one of these up and just try it out.